Hi, everybody. This is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist, and I am super, super duper thrilled to have another conversation with you all today. Welcome, you all. I'm here to have a conversation about your wardrobe. Is it reflecting your dream career? Let me back up for a second. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi, I'm Jessica Canty. I call myself a life and career strategist. There's our guest, about to patch her in momentarily, because I enjoy and I have a passion for helping people go from unfulfilled jobs to their dream careers. So one of the things that that's integral in the work that I do with my clients is that I connect great people. And I'm pausing because I'm about to connect you with a great person. So as she's coming in, I want to be able to brag about her for a moment or two. Hello, gorgeous. How
Hello,
are you?
Jessica. How are you?
Wonderful. I was just about to brag about you. Okay, so I was telling you all, I'm a life and career strategist. And my job is to connect you with great people that are going to ensure that you accomplish your career goals. But here's the truth of the matter, that when people look at you, they assess you. They assess who you are just by what you have on. It's not a great depiction of all the greatness that you are, but within 7 seconds, an HR representative can size you up and see if you are an appropriate fit for their work office, for their culture and their office. So that's why I got super excited when I got to meet that beautiful face that you all see here that we're already getting love for. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brag report. So actually it's been 2 months now.
I know.
We're now starting a brand new month, a brand new season. So this is such a wonderful time for me to introduce you to my Woman Crush Wednesday, this phenomenal woman you see in front of you. She and I participated in a purpose pitch tour for the Minority Christian Women's Entrepreneurship Network. So shout out to them for bringing this wonderful talent into my life. And that's why I had to share it with you all. When I met her, she was impeccably dressed. She looked like she stepped out a magazine of what it means to be elegant in the workplace. And so she presented her business. So I'm going to brag a little bit about it, but I want her to be able to introduce herself to you and tell you about her business. And I could just tell that I was like, I've got to make a connection with this young lady because she is solving an issue that so many of us have, especially for those who are, I would say, in their 20s to about maybe 40, maybe 50. When it comes to fashion, there's a challenge for us when we want to look presentable on interviews, when we want to look presentable in the boardroom, when we want to look presentable representing our businesses, our agencies, and our goals. It's kind of hard to find fashion that is affordable, but yet something that fits women of color shape. And so when she presented that, she brought out a mannequin with this dress. I said, one of these days, that dress has got to be in my closet.
Thank you.
I'm just going to have to go on a shopping spree with her because, and when I say impeccable, that's the only word I can to use because it's ladylike, but yet you can tell she's a boss in everything that she does. So I'm going to quiet my voice so you can hear this beautiful young lady introduce herself to you all. And I can't wait to her to get into the nuts and bolts of her business. Take it away, gorgeous.
Sure. So everyone, thank you guys for joining us. I know in this unsettling time, we're all working from home. And so I appreciate you guys just taking the time out to chat with us. So my name is Sasha, and I am a workwear blogger. And I also founded a clothing line called Career Chic with my co-founder. She's actually on the live now. Shout out to Mia. And so we we're working on creating a brand for women, especially women of color, where we want to make sure that we accentuate, the curves, but in an appropriate way for the workforce. And I think also to focus on the unique style that a lot of women have when you go to a lot of clothing stores like, Ann Tailor, Banana Republic, which are places in J. Crew that I love. But a lot of times it's hard to really, identify your unique style. And so what we wanted to focus on was something where we have beautiful work dresses for various women, regardless of where they are in their career. So just to talk a little bit about it, we have 3 collections, which is one is on the horizon for a lot of the entry level women. We have Blossom from 9 to 5, which is mid-level professionals, and the boardroom collection, which is for a lot of executive level women. And so unfortunately, due to, you know, this pandemic, our actual launch date has been pushed back. So we definitely plan to work, you know, on that. And once we have like a dated date, I would love to come back on there with my co-founder to talk a little bit more about that. But in terms of me as a blogger, you know, I have a real passion for workwear. And I think it started initially with, you know, my mother. She, when I was in high school, worked for Talbot's part-time. And part of that, I would go sometimes after school to the store that she worked for in DC. And I watched her work with the women there and helping them to create professional looks. Sometimes she would have events for the store on Saturdays, you know, it was called Sip and Shop. And I really loved how confident the women felt after she worked with them to get their professional look together. And I guess in a sense, their professional voice. And so I guess it wasn't up until a few years ago that I really realized, you know, a lot of my time is spent in the professional workplace, as a lot of women. And I just really loved putting together, you know, my looks and getting ready for interviews and meetings and, you know, making sure that my look complemented my presence in terms of making sure that I'm ready for the meetings, the conference calls, etc. And I realized that there is a value in making sure that your professional presence is as strong as your actual professionalism. So I think that I just love, especially as a blogger, talking about these things on my Instagram and just sharing my knowledge of how I've evolved professionally and, you know, looks that I think are, you know, outstanding for women. So I'm excited to talk about this with you, and I'm excited that I get to dress up a little bit. I mean,
yay!
I've been in the house for so long, and I get to put on a nice blouse and
yay! So. And I'm even checking out your background. You can just tell this is everything that she is. I'm seeing the mannequin, the pearls. This is why I am kindred spirits with her, but she is able to execute it so well.
And also shout out to you. You know, even with the pitch competition, our spirits definitely connected. And I'm just so excited, you know, even talking with you now and potential things in the future. So, yeah, thank you so much, you know, for sharing the love with your business and even supporting mine. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's so many great points that you had. I just want to slowly unpack.
Sure.
One, I want to say thank you to Swag Her Magazine, because you're making this possible. You're able to bring talent such as Sasha's and her business partners, not just in a blog format, but taking it from the blog to your closet. So she's giving you how professionalism is going to evolve. I really like that when I heard the 3 levels, and I want to dive into that as well. But it's also talking about when you said that professional voice. Oh my goodness, that was so powerful for me, because like I said in the beginning, what we show up in speaks louder than what we can say before we even say hello, my name is. Unfortunately, sometimes people can stereotype women of color because of our shapely bodies, and so in that environment, we don't want to necessarily have to cover up our femininity.
Absolutely.
How do we do it so that it's not a distraction to what we're talking about? We want you to focus on the fact that we're capable, not just that we're beautiful, because we are, but that we're capable of getting the job done. So help me understand. I just pictured you I'm in the store with your mom and like just soaking it all up. So how did you make the transition to being a blogger? What sparked that? And then what type of information do you provide on the blog?
So I think just my love for workwear, and a lot of folks that I knew, whether I was in like grad school or if I was like working, you know, my full-time job, because in my daytime, I am a public servant, and I've been in that role for about 8 years. I love public service and social services. And so a lot of people would come up to me and ask, you know, where did you get this outfit from? Where did you get, you know, this dress? And I would tell them, because I'm definitely an advocate for, you know, a lot of like the retailers, but thrifting and consignment shopping. That's another great way for women who especially are on a budget and they have maybe modest means to find really key pieces that express who they are professionally, and a lot of them are designer. So I would share tips, and in some cases I would actually do some shopping for some of my friends to, you know, help them with their professional wardrobe. And so I've been told like a few years ago that people that I should start a blog, and I think, you know, with us establishing Career Chic, and then, you know, just really taking my love for professional wear to the next level, I, you know, decided that I am going to start this blog. So as of right now, I do a lot of my reflections on professional women's wear and looks on my Instagram. But now that we are in this pandemic and we are in the house, I am dedicated to releasing my blog. So I will definitely share the link to that, the website to that, once it's up and running. But I felt like, especially, I know a few workwear workwear bloggers, excuse me, that provide their unique perspective on women's wear. But it's not a lot of women, you know, especially that look like me. And so I want to be able to, you know, showcase my voice and what I think, you know, like, as you mentioned, the point that you raised about, you know, our unique curves. And I want to, you know, accentuate that, and of course in a classy and respectful way, but not feel ashamed about that, because I am a curvy Black woman. And there's a lot of women that feel the same way about me, or maybe they're not just as enthused about workwear because they haven't been able to find anything that's suitable to them. So I think, you know, just tagging a lot of designer retailers and stuff like that, and finds that I, you know, I'm able to identify in the thrift store, it's something that I want to make sure that I'm explaining to the masses, and kind of giving that encouragement to someone who may not necessarily think like, okay, I like work clothes. I mean, I guess I have to wear them, you know, because I work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, but I don't know how to like express my unique voice through my clothes. Because I think, you know, even with interviewing, sometimes people feel like you just need to have a regular gray suit and a white shirt. And that's not necessarily the case. You know, you can showcase your style in your unique way. I think there's a lot of fun flexibility that you have with workwear. And I personally think that it's like one of the great things about being a woman. You get dressed up. There's nothing like having a nice dress on, going to work, well prepared for a meeting, and just looking your best. So when you look your best and you feel your best, you know, you're going to do your best. And so I think that transition to blogging about women's workwear, and specifically like women's empowerment, was really natural to me, because that's something that I was just doing among my friends, you know, sharing among my friends and, you know, co-workers in the workspace anyway. So why not, you know, share the lessons I've learned from my mother, and then, you know, just my professional work experience over time. So.
Absolutely. And as you're chatting, you're getting so much love on this side. As a matter of fact, someone said, I want you to be my friend. I had to pin that comment. They said, I need to do wardrobe. I was thinking the same thing. I'm tracking like, oh, you're going to go shopping for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
I love it. I can talk about workwear all day. As you know, with the career tips and, you know, helping women and folks succeed in the workforce, you know, it's a natural thing, especially with you. I can tell, you know, watching your videos, I'm like taking notes, like, oh, this is perfect, you know, like, it's so natural. And I feel like with workwear, it's definitely a natural thing for me as well. So hello. I'm like looking at the folks joining in.
And I also pinned another comment, because when you said it's natural, and the reason why it's so powerful coming from you is because you can tell you have a passion for it, and your passion is providing for other people's passion. And so what a wonderful place to be able to showcase that. And the other thing, yeah, you're getting so many shout outs on this side, but I wanted to highlight that Lady CEO said, no worries. She said that we're always looking for articles at Swag Curve, so she wants you to email her. So I'm going to pin the comment down there, because I can definitely see your blog being a great asset to the Swag Curve magazine community. Because the reality is, a lot of people are making transitions in their career, and they're just like, I'm not quite sure, how do I dress for this new space? With workplaces increasingly being more casual, how do I make sure that when I show up, I am fitting in with the culture, but showing that I am someone who wants promotion. I am somebody who wants a raise, who wants high marks on their performance evaluation. So I want to transition into talking about the business and the 3 layers. I got so excited when you were talking about it, because I just envisioned someone who was matriculating through their career and consistently working with you to make sure that it shows up in the way that they dress. So tell me a little bit more about those layers, and then like what type of assistance you provide for your clients.
Sure. So as it relates to the business, the 3 layers is something that me and I spent a lot of time on, because one of the things that we were thinking about as we were launching, as we're in the stages of launching the brand, is that what would we say to our younger selves in terms of how we wanted to show up in the workplace. So Mia thought of the idea of on the horizon, because it's really important that, you know, young women who are maybe entry level, and they're not necessarily just young women, women who are at various phases of their life that are entering the workforce. What would those clothes look like for that woman? Because I know that I've been guilty of that, where I thought that I had a really good outfit. You know, years later, I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't a good thing to wear on the interview, you know? So with that piece of the collection, we're really focused on, you know, those key pieces like skirts, nice blouses, cardigans, and a dress to complement, you know, that woman and her face. And even though there are different layers, I will say, you know, it is still up to the woman to decide like what she may be comfortable in. But I know, given what we're doing for the brand itself, we do provide that career, I guess, that advice on what we would advise for women based off their career. And so from bossing from 9 to 5, it's more so the mid-level professional. So it's a little bit of a mix of blazers and dresses, so that, you know, you're not necessarily entering the workforce, but you're in a mid-professional where you may be having executive C-suite, you know, aspirations. So we have clothes that are reflective of that phase. And again, the clothes, you know, provide the website that we're actually we've been working really hard on. I'm really, really excited about it once we're able to officially launch it after, you know, this pandemic. But we are giving advice to women based off of what we feel would be a really, you know, some advice of what we think would be good based off of that phase of their life. And the boardroom collection is just women, you know, with a suit dress, pantsuit, because we will have a pantsuit that will be available. But that is the woman that is at the top of her game. You know, she is killing it in the boardroom. She's the one that's taking on the meetings. She's facilitating the meetings, and she's taking over the business. I mean, the company. So we wanted that also to be reflective. Those, the different collections to be reflective of where women are in their phase. And of course, we'll just have, you know, traditional pieces just for women in general. But I think we wanted to make that distinction, because a lot of workwear brands, there isn't, you know, you may have like an Ann Taylor Loft versus an Ann Taylor, but there's not a different, it's not different clothing for different phases of women's lives. And I feel like that is really important. And we spent a lot of time just really identifying that, because I think that that is what separates us from a lot of workwear, especially since, you know, we are two Black women that have had a range of experience in the workforce that really wanted to showcase what we can bring to the table as it relates to, you know, professional women's wear.
Absolutely. And you're getting questions over here because you're giving such great wisdom. So I'm going to kind of give them out to you as they came in, so to get some of your wisdom around it. But first, before I do that, I just want you all to hear what she's saying. She's saying that she's not just being your shopping buddy. She's giving you wisdom based on what she's seen in her career, based on what her business partners seen in their career, and based on what they see has worked. So they're doing the work for you. So they're giving you that wisdom to say, okay, they're essentially coaching you through, here are some pieces, and teaching you how to see the fashion, because she's so right. As she was talking about an interview outfit, I thought about one and I just started to cringe about one that I had. Such an embarrassing moment. No wonder I didn't get that job, but because I didn't have that wisdom. And sometimes the truth of the matter is, as much as our family tries to help us, if they didn't have the exposure, or they didn't have the advice and the wisdom that she's giving, it might be hard for them to support you as well. Absolutely. But I also want to emphasize that she's not saying you have to spend an arm and a leg on something. She told you she started her love at the thrift store. This is another reason why we're kindred spirits.
Absolutely.
Born and raised on the thrift store, hurting because it's closed right now.
I know.
However, what she's saying is you can find your own unique voice. So a couple of questions that came from the audience. One question was a suggestion around, so what do you suggest for entrepreneurs? I have an answer, but I would love to hear what you have to say in terms of what should entrepreneurs, how should they show up? Because you are one.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, that's a really good question. I think that one, based off of your business, you want to, I think the main thing is you want to identify your unique style and how that unique style tailors to your business. So obviously, if you are, you know, in the space of working on career, you know, consulting or anything in that realm, you do want to kind of dress in a traditional, you know, office setting, you know, because again, you are selling your career expertise to clients. Now, if you are, you know, in arts and entertainment, I think that, you know, that may call for a different type of style, but you can still be, you know, traditional in the sense of how you dress. Maybe you put on a nice black dress, and you can put on like a colorful blazer. I mean, spring is here. I have on my lavender shirt to showcase how I'm ready for spring. You know, you can put on like a lime green jacket or something that, one, if that's your style and that's a color that you love, you can still be you, but also be you in a way that people take you seriously. Now, I think, again, you know, depending on your business, it may range for how you dress, but I think it's always good to think professionally about it. You may not necessarily have to dress up in a suit, but I'm always an advocate for a nice blouse with a blazer, or maybe jeans if you know you're into photography or something along those lines. So I think that, you know, again, it's all about your personal brand, how you want to show up for your business, and then tailor your style accordingly. And of course, if you have any questions, you can definitely, my Instagram is simply Sasha, and you can DM me. I would love to connect. My contact information is also in there. So if you have any other ideas or, you know, questions about that, but definitely I think that you want to tailor your style to your business and be true essentially to who you are.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I couldn't have put it any better than that, because what I want you all to take away from this is that professionalism can definitely have personality. However, you also want to remember that not everybody is a part of your profession and won't understand the unique nuances of it. So like, I really like that you shared that if you're in the entertainment business, you still might have to go to a bank for funding. So you want to be able to make sure you have a wardrobe that is flexible and adaptable for that. No one is, I hope you heard it. She's not squashing anybody's personality or voice, or like you said, because in the DMV area, we keep getting, they keep saying that we are not fashionable in the DMV area.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know where they got that myth from.
Right. Because, you know, in government, it's really the standard, like you said, the gray suit, the black suit, change the color tie. But she's giving you advice around you can be in that environment, but still show your personality. Maybe it's in the style or the cut of the blazer or the cut of the dress. So you can still be you. And I hope that you caught it. She said, make sure you connect with her. If you missed any part of our conversation, trust me, you missed a whole lot. So you want to check out our conversation is going to be on the story for Swag Her Magazine. It's going to be on their YouTube channel. It's also going to be on mine, but you can connect with her. She told you she's simply Sasha on Instagram. So you want to make sure that you connect with her. And before our conversation is over, I'm going to put her contact information in the comment box, because I really want to make sure that you all are connecting with her. You are getting this, and this is something free of charge. Your only investment is time. She is definitely giving you some pearls of wisdom. So you want to take advantage of that. So we have another question from the audience. What sizes will you have available?
Sure. So our primary focus is for sizes 4 to 16, and we will extend some sizes for 18, because we want to make sure that the clothing itself is versatile in size and as well as look. So we wanted to make sure that we had a range for everyone to be able to access it. So.
Absolutely. And I really like that she said that, because that's a true reflection of the fact that you are representing not just women of color, because body types come in different shapes, regardless of your ethnicity, but it does reflect a wider range. And say some stores, yes, Lady CEO, real women's sizes, absolutely. Because I know it's changed throughout the decades, but the last I checked, they said that the average woman is about a size 14. And of course, we know, especially if women of color, we may be a size 14 on the bottom.
Exactly. Because I know my size range. Yes,
designers don't get that you know, our waist is small, we may have a little bit more curves at the bottom, or some of us may be more ample in the chest area. So that's another reason why I really wanted to tell you all to support a business like this one, because she gets it. She understands what clothing designers may not get for us, which is why you may go to the store and see, why is it at size 10 on a hanger and then it's like a size 16 skirt, because somebody was trying to mix them in.
Exactly. Especially if you go to Amazon, because that's another, you know, place that there's some hidden jewels on there. you'll get a size, and then when you get it at home, it's not a size large, it's like a size small. So, you know, we want to make sure that we provide something for women. And I really like the point that you emphasized too, Jessica, is that the business, you know, Career Chic, when we launch, it's focused for all professional women. But I think we have a unique lens because we are African American women. And so we have that perspective, and we always want to be true to that. But, you know, again, it is for all women. It's for, you know, various shapes and sizes. So thank you again for just, you know, emphasizing that. So
absolutely, absolutely. So someone on this side was talking about that. It sounds like this is an entrepreneur who needs to get a small business loan. So absolutely, whether you are going to be an employer or an employee, these services are critical for you. So right now, like Sasha said, we're transitioning seasons. This is the time to assess your wardrobe. Does your spring and summer wardrobe reflect the career? She already told you your level. So I don't know about you all, but I started thinking, I said, what level am I at? Am I at that mid-level?
That's a good point.
So asking myself, does my closet reflect what she was talking about? So do I have those blazers? Do I have those cardigans? Do I have that skirt to reflect the level? Or, and I even heard it as you were saying, to dress for the job that you want. So if you are at that entry level, begin to build your wardrobe, which you can get assistance from this business in, and then say, okay, I'm going to slowly integrate those pieces so that I can show up as the woman or entrepreneur that I want to be. Now, there's another question that came from the audience. I don't know that you could quite answer it, but I would just love to pick your brain about it. There was a question about, what about the well-dressed man? Now, I know we're talking about women, but I was just curious what you thought about that in terms of professional attire.
Sure. So I have just general thoughts from like a blogger. And I think as much as the style for women is versatile, where we, you know, can dress in a suit or a traditional suit if we wanted to go on an interview, or we can put on a dress with a nice blazer. I think the same could be said for a well-dressed man. I think nowadays, from what I've noticed, and again, men's wear in terms of professional work attire is not necessarily my area of expertise, but I can say from my experience of working with a lot of well-dressed men is that you can be versatile with wearing a suit or putting on some nice tailored pants with a nice shirt, a button-down shirt with a tie. Or I know a look that is popular too is like the 3/4 polo with some nice slacks when you're going to work, or a nice pullover sweater in the fall with a nice shirt. And I feel like with men, you know, don't get just caught up in that traditional sense of wearing a suit. You can definitely wear some really nice shirts with ties. And I know it depends on some guys too, like they are into like socks. So I think that, you know, that's something that you may want to like do some research on too, because that's a unique way to share your style. I mean, you don't necessarily have to like get these loud, like cartoony type socks, but you know, you could get something with like plaid, or when you sit down, it's just like a subtle, oh, okay, you know, he got his own like unique style. Because unfortunately, sometimes with men, you got the white shirts, you got the, in some cases, the black shirts and the navy pants and the black pants, but that's another twist to how you can, you know, showcase your style and your uniqueness with your clothes. And I think that I always say this word, like unique and style, because I feel like with workwear, it's really important to showcase who you are and your unique style. And you don't have to do it in a way where you feel like, okay, well, I have to follow the traditional rules for workwear. And I think that especially now in this day and age, that's not necessarily the case. I have an example. So I just, in thinking about, you know, interviews, a lot of people I talk to, I tell them you don't necessarily like have to, for women specifically, you don't necessarily have to do the suit. You could do like a nice little blazer. So I have one here that you can like showcase.
Show and tell.
So this is something, you know, what you can put on a nice black dress for an interview. This is spring, so it's like a nice cream color. And what I would do with this is I would probably put some pearl, just, you know, one strand pearl there, like the ones in the background, and put on a nice, you know, a nice black dress. I've worn this before on a really important interview. And after the interview was over with, you know, the person that I worked for at the time said, you know, what I really liked about you is, one, that you were prepared. Because I think, you know, to your point with your business, you always want to be prepared and you want to show up ready. But you also want to make sure that you show up dressed for the part. Absolutely. And so she, you know, complimented me and said that, oh, you were really great. You answered all our questions, but I really like your style. I really liked how classy you were. And I was like, oh, I didn't know, that meant so much because, it's an interview. Most people would just, think about traditional clothing. And I think that also helped me to set myself apart. Oh, I also have another example too.
Yay!
This is,
Show and tell.
something, for me, it just depends on like my mood. Sometimes I'll want to dress up a little bit. So I have a jacket like this. This is actually an H&M thing, one of my favorite little jackets, where you have some embellishment here. Now, something like this, you wouldn't want to wear a necklace, especially like on an interview, because you already have the embellishment up at the top. But you can put this on again with another black dress. I think if you have statement jackets, you want to play it down with your dress or your pants. So you can even wear this with a nice button-up shirt with some slacks. I'm a dress fanatic. I love dresses, and even my co-founder with CareerChicBrand, she loves dresses as well. So we dress people. But you can definitely, wear that and put like some pearls. So I think that, again, going back to showcasing your unique style, you can do that, but you can also do in a way where it sets you apart, and people will remember not only how smart and intelligent you are and what you can bring to any position, but that you care about how you look and you dress well, and I think that that's just something that you never want to just downplay, especially for getting a job and even thereafter when you've worked there. So
absolutely. You're getting so much love on this side. And the person that asked about gentlemen put his thumbs up because and he gave
thank you. Yes, I hope that answered, your questions.
Absolutely.
I know it's not necessarily my realm, but I've noticed, great, well-dressed men in the workplace. So yeah, I think those, tips would be helpful for anyone, especially if you're interested. But that's great that you are, men that are focused on their attire for work. I am here for it. So thank you for your question.
Absolutely. So you're getting hearts saying, and just like me, I'm leaning in. We put out the show and tell. It's giving me very Jackie O, Diane Carroll, like classic look, but yet it still got youthful in appearance. And I think that's what the struggle is. A lot of times, because, and I would love to get your opinion on this, is that a lot of times clothing, it's either really fuddy-duddy, like old lady, or it's something that's incredibly trendy. And so what are some tips that you want to give people to be able to kind of merge the gap, to be able to be classic but not boring?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that sometimes, I know I've had to learn early on too with thrifting, because you can find some really great quality pieces where some people have given away things that are new with the tags on them, and then you have some of those nice like styled blouses that maybe are from like the 1980s. So it's like, oh, it's a fine line between, but I think that you want to put an emphasis on trying on the clothes, I would say, if you can, before, because something that may look good on the hanger may not necessarily look good on your body or on your style. And so I think that if you do find, like, for example, my shirt is actually from the thrift store. It's a 80s shirt. I don't even know who the brand is, but what I liked about it is that it was fitting. So it wasn't, and there's a lot of blouses with, the bow, you can tie up on the front that are currently, made now. But what I, decided is that, okay, well, if this is, it fits me appropriately. And if it was a little too baggy, maybe I'll throw a blazer on top of it. Maybe I'll play it youthful by putting on these earrings. Now, obviously, this would be a look that I would wear if I'm already at a job and, I've been working there, versus, I wouldn't want to wear something like this on an interview, because even though you may not necessarily have to wear a suit, I think it's always good to be safe with the colors and thinking about navies, whites, blacks. So I think, the important thing about the clothes is, again, how it fits your body, and then how you want to dress it up. Because I think you can dress up and dress down anything, but just also keep in mind certain things. Like, I know with my mom, we always have this conversation. If you have a statement necklace with a regular white shirt, don't wear dangle earrings. Maybe wear, studs. So that way your focus is on the necklace and not the necklace, the ears, the shirt. So if you have key pieces, make sure if you have like, you know, really dressy things, make sure you stick to one key piece that focuses on your attention. So if it's, you want to focus on the shirt, make sure you do, I like for this, I wouldn't put a necklace on with this because I already have a bow and the shirt already is a lavender color. It's a little loud, but I also have the earrings that kind of jazzes it up, so it's not necessarily boring. Now, I could possibly put, you know, pearl studs on with this because the shirt is loud. But again, it's all on your how comfortable you are with what, you know, you're wearing. So I definitely think, one, think about a statement piece. If try on the outfits to make sure that they're to your liking, because that is key. And then 3, just if you feel like you want to dress things up, just do it modestly. Don't go overdo it because, you know, especially in the workforce, it can get a little distracting. You don't have to be boring, but you also want to be mindful that, you know, people aren't focusing on all these various elements and items that you're wearing than just that one thing. So I hope, I know that was a mouthful.
No, you hit on everything because like you said, you want to show your personality, but you want your personality to be louder than the outfit.
Exactly.
So you want people to actually hear what you're saying and not be distracted by what you have on.
Exactly.
And you are definitely giving sage wisdom, whether you are someone starting off in your career or you're getting established and comfortable in that space, gaining those skills, or you might be that person who's that transition or who's moving from one career to another career. This is sage wisdom. So I don't want anybody to tune it out because, oh, I'm 20 and that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
Or I'm 50 and that doesn't apply to me. No, It applies to everybody. As long as you're out in the workforce, what she's talking about applies to you. And to be quite honest, even if not in the workforce, people get jobs and connections going to the grocery store.
That's a good point.
Going to the coffee, getting that cup of coffee in the morning. So what she's sharing with you is powerful information that can help you navigate career curveballs, can help you make those connections to your next best career move. So I really want you all to connect with her. So I want to be able to give you the space, Sasha, to tell us, how do we connect with you? Is there anything that you want the audience to know, especially any type of announcements or anything you want to challenge them in?
Sure. So the best way to connect with me at this moment, since we are obviously on Instagram, is to head over to my Instagram page, Simply Sasha. I have my contact information in my bio. If you want to shoot me a DM, an email, I'm definitely available to discuss further. In terms of upcoming announcements, I will be working on, I'm working on my blog as we speak. So I will be able to have that available to provide the same advice and experiences, but also reflections on my personal journey as a professional in the workspace. And so that's something that's like a next step. And of course, Mia and I are working hard on Career Chic. Again, you know, the pandemic unfortunately was a little bit of a roadblock for the business, but we encourage you to follow our Instagram page. It's CareerChicBrand. That's another way where we will be providing, you know, just general tips. And we are hoping to have our website launch really soon. Like I said, I would love to come back and Swagger Magazine. I hope you would love to have, you know, me and I back so we can talk about the business once everything is launched and share the clothes that we have for you. And so I definitely, that's what I would want you guys to definitely connect after this. And I think I would like to leave everyone, you know, with 3 key things. And I always tell myself this, regardless of, you know, if I'm transitioning to a new job or if I'm at, you know, a job for I've been there for a while. The first thing is come prepared. So no matter if it's the night before, the morning before, I make sure that I get up and if it's an important meeting, if it's a conference call, I've done my research and I have everything that I need to tackle the day. Obviously with grace and humility and, you know, with prayerfully making sure that I have everything that I need. The second thing is dress up. And I know a lot of us right now, or we're working from home, and, you know, in some cases, you know, we may not necessarily be working at the moment, but that doesn't mean you still don't want to follow that routine that you have. You know, I still get up at my normal time, you know, I shower, and I may not necessarily put on a blouse like this, but I'm still, you know, dressing up to essentially go to work, especially since Zoom is a popular platform now with these meetings. So dress up. And, you know, dress up, dress well. Make sure that you're presentable, because when you dress well, you're prepared, you're dressed well, you feel confident. And I think the last thing is show up. A lot of times, especially in the professional realm and with minorities too, we may experience that imposter syndrome or feel like we're not fully there in that space where we're not, I'm not going to say deserving, because we are deserving to be there, but in some cases, you know, we may not feel as confident. But I think half the battle is showing up, and showing up prepared, and showing up dressed well. And that, you know, will definitely help to take you to the next level. So I always tell I always say that to myself, and I encourage that, you know, with my friends and folks that I come across, because I think those three, you know, those three, I guess, tips, if you will, is something that I've learned, and that is something that, regardless of where I've been in my career, is I've taken it true to heart. And once I show up and I'm dressed for the part and I'm prepared, that's, you know, it's nothing that I'm not able to tackle or I'm not able to do. So
absolutely, absolutely. So as you're talking, I'm smiling, taking all this in. I know, I don't know about you all, but I know for certain when this goes on YouTube, I'm hitting it on replay.
yes.
I'm taking out my notebook. I'm writing down notes. I'm going to make sure I connect my friends and family with this resource, because I know I come from a family of professional women, and it's a struggle for us to show up and to make sure that we show up in the way that we want to be presented.
Yes,
so, and you're getting so many comments over here. One, I want to make sure, let you know that people have told you great advice that you're giving.
Oh, thank you so much.
Swagger Magazine definitely wants you back.
Thank you.
I know I can see this being a regular feature on their blog, because they provide so much great information for the community.
Absolutely.
And so just connecting with you and your business partner and your brand, I know people, their professional lives are going to be changed, which means that their personal lives will be impacted as well.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm so grateful that you gave us a bit of your time. So here's your homework, you all. If you get your pen and paper out, you want to go follow Simply Sasha. You want to go follow CareerChicBrand. You want to make sure you DM any of your questions, because as this brand is rolling out, they want to hear from you. They want to know what it is that you want, so that the pieces that they're curating and that they're making sure they're available, and the advice they're giving is what you need to hear. Now, they might give you some hard advice, some good, some challenging feedback, but that's because they care about you and your career. So that's your homework. Right after this ends, that's who you're following, that's who you're DMing, and you want to stay in the loop. So you want to know when the blog is going to be released. You want to stay in the loop. Make sure you check back on their page. Make sure you check on both pages, because you want to be the first in line. I don't know about you all, but I'm like, is there a wait list? Because I want to go ahead and get on that wait list, because when spring comes, when we come out of this, I want to look and feel as great as I do about going back into the building, going back into those workspaces.
Absolutely.
So my last announcement before we wrap up, because I just looked at the time, I was like, oh my goodness, we've been talking for almost an hour, and I could definitely go for another hour.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So after you've done that, after you follow Simply Sasha and CareerChicBrand and DM her any questions or ideas that you may have, I want you to head over to my page, because I'm having a resume workshop next week. So you get your wardrobe together with Sasha. Then you're gonna make sure you got your resume together, and like she said, you're gonna be prepared. You're already gonna have your interview outfit ready. You're already gonna know what you're gonna wear in the first week of work, because you've got the resume that can get you the job and the outfit that wows them. So, oh my goodness, you've gotten so many great gifts here in this space. And I know this would not be, because someone asked, do you have a LinkedIn also? I want to make sure I pin you.
Yes, I do. I have a LinkedIn. So should I just share that on here, or
Sure.
Sure. So my LinkedIn is my full name is Sasheen, so it's Sasheen Scott.
Spell that out for me so I can put it in the comment section.
SACSHEEN and then Scott.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Oh, you see, Autocorrect wants to tell me that your name is
I,
not
but
right.
that's, you know, autocorrect has always been hitting on my name.
So say one more time for me.
Sure. SACSHEEN. Yep. So Swagger Magazine. Yep. It's Sasha all together. Scott. Yep. That's exactly how you spell it.
Okay, so you guys know how to connect with her. You got multiple ways to connect with her, the great work that she's doing. And I know this is not the last time because you seen it here. That and again, it's no, I fixed it. Okay, I fixed it.
Yep.
Okay. You know, autocorrect wants to tell you to not spell, but but we will definitely be working together. And any material that she and I do together, or I can see any material that she's doing for the magazine, I'm going to make sure I present it. But you can stay in the loop because you're going to be following her page, and you'll be able to get the firsthand information. All right, doll. It was such a wonderful chat with you.
Likewise.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't wait to talk with you offline.
Absolutely. And thank you again, Swagger Magazine, for this opportunity. And thank you, Jessica. I definitely will be talking to you offline.
All right. I'll see you soon, beautiful. Bye-bye.